Hi, so I wanted to talk about something that people don't often really talk about, and that's, having to do with the afterlife and reincarnation, um, Chronos, Saturn, and basically topic pertaining to that. So, people who are spiritually awoke, they know that these people out here, they aren't thinking about death. They aren't thinking about the afterlife. They're not thinking about what comes after this. And I just wanted to come on a recording and speak about what I think you guys should hear, I guess. Just my input, my take on, because we all know that people out here, they're only concerned about their best life now. They're not thinking about what comes after this, right? And I think the only way that you would become reincarnated is if you are too attached to this third dimensional earthly realm, like if you're too attached to, say, money or food, the taste of food, like you're too attached to these senses, these human senses that you may have. And I think the only way that you won't be reincarnated into this karmic cycle is if you're thinking more on a mental level. See, it all starts in the mind first. Like, if you have your mind set on something, it's almost like what you have to do here in this life. Like, say if you really want something and you constantly think about it, you constantly do that same thing over and over again, you're eventually going to achieve that, what you've been seeking. I think it's the same for if you want to reach the fifth dimension. Like, you just have to put it into practice. You have to put your mind into practice and just keep constantly like thinking about what makes you happy, what you want, as far as like mentally achieving it. Like, I think it's different for most people, because most people in today's day, they're not really thinking on that high mental mindset. So it's only having to do with what they see in front of them with their two physical eyes, and not their third eye, their pineal gland eye. So there's less people using their their third eye, because it has to do with mentally seeing it without your two physical eyes. And we all know that people in today's day, they aren't very creative, they aren't very imaginative with that sort of thing. So I'm thinking it only goes for a few people. Not the majority of people. It only goes for the minority of people who use their pineal gland to mentally see what they truly want. And this, like I said, this doesn't go for the most majority of people around the world. It only goes for a very minute few. And for these people, they won't be reincarnated because they know that they can use their soul consciousness to not be attached to this third dimension anymore, which is not being attached to the material realm, the material stuff, like money, um, money, sex, you know, fancy cars, all of these material things that you could possess, like these people who will truly move on to the fifth dimension, like they'll automatically know that they don't need all that stuff, and that they have an inner knowing that when they leave their body, they can become a soul consciousness, move to the fifth dimension, and create anything that they want. So, but here's the question though, how do we escape the cycle of reincarnation? I think it's more simple than we I think it's more simple than what we perceive it to be. Sometimes I may think that, when I leave this body, I might have to do a certain thing to reach where I need to go, and sometimes I think, well, maybe it'll be hard to reach the fifth dimension, but I don't think it's going to be hard at all. It's just you need to detach. All you need to do is just detach from these earthly things, like these material things. Like, you can't be super attached to what you can physically possess. I think in order to escape reincarnation, we as humans, us as humanity, we need to detach from all of these material things, like, And I think that's it though. I mean, it's not really going to be hard. Like, because it's more of a mental state. Like, it's more so reaching that higher mental state, which is, which can be all of these dimensions that we can reach, We just need to set our minds to, what happens next after this, and I think most people are not, they're not concerned about that, because most people, they don't want to think about death. They don't want to think about, what happens after this. And I think most people should, because it's, in a way, it's using their brain power more, and they won't be so attached to material things here in this third dimension. And it's too late, because people already are attached to the things that they see with their physical eyes, like more so than, using their pineal gland. And it's I don't know, it's just really it's really sad, I guess. I don't know what else to really say about that. So I want to say, for the people who are awake and they are using more of their mental state to get where they want to go, like, I'm gonna have to say that your world is going to be, when you finally reach your realm after this, it's going to be, it's not going to be populated at all. It's just going to be you and the people who you think about the most, who are going to be there with you. So when you get there, you guys are going to have to figure out, like, well, how, you know, because when you get there, your body's going to be more translucent. It's going to be like half physical and half astral. So when you get there with your people, with your chosen people, you guys are going to have to figure out, like, how you're going to make things work. Like, say for instance you have a place and, like, there's, like, certain things are not going to be there for your guys' benefit, like, right away. So you guys are going to have to think about how you're going to wash your clothes, how you're going to cook your food, how you're going to keep warm at night. Like, these are the things that as mentally awoken people who want to reach the fifth dimension, who don't want to be stuck here in Earth time anymore. You guys are going to have to think about, like, how you're going to make things work together. And this is how you guys are going to grow and bond more, by coming together and making things work in your realm, in your guys' world. And this is really important. And I wanted to bring this forth. I wanted to talk about something that you guys could possibly think about, like, mentally, because I know that a lot of people aren't thinking about this. They aren't even, like, mentioning it to themselves either. Like, they're just purely focused on what they can have in this life now, and they're not really thinking about what could happen in the afterlife until they're near death and it's too late, and maybe they didn't have time to think about all of these things through, because they were too focused on the physical here in this third dimension, and they didn't have time to think about what they could have after this, like, straight through, So it's important for you guys to it's healthy for you guys to possibly pre-plan this out before you leave your vessel, before you leave your body. And I just wanted to speak on this, because I know that a lot of people aren't thinking about this kind of thing, especially when you're young. Like, you're not thinking about what comes after this. You're not, because your two physical eyes they often overpower your third eye here in this realm. And it's fine, you don't have to. It's just when a certain person awakens to their truth, like, it's hard not to think about it, because you don't want to be attached to all these material things anymore. Like, once you've awakened and all that, it's like you just don't want to be attached to these mundane things. And you'll know when you do awaken, like, it'll just be like a light bulb above your head, like, oh my God, you know. Like, and you'll finally realize, like, oh, I'm not this physical body. I'm a soul. I'm a light soul consciousness that can move through realities, these different realities. But you can only move through them in your physical body if you've only awakened your third eye, your pineal gland. And I like how I liked how RFG talked about the DMT, like, and isn't it true, like, when you're near death, like, the DMT will release, like, its chemicals in the brain, like, like the chemicals will release the DMT in the brain, like, when you're near death, and that's you moving into your unseen realm. You know, it shuts down the two physical eyes, and then you can now move into your unseen realm, which is either the fourth going into the fifth dimension, and then whatever you desire, whatever you want to think about, you can just move through that realm with ease if you haven't attached your soul to these material things in the third dimension. Like, if you're not super attached, you can just easily move on. So, okay, you guys, I think that's all I wanted to say in this recording. Hope you found this video interesting. I just wanted to give you guys something to think about mentally. I don't know, like, my videos will just stay how they are because it's just all about getting the message. It's all about getting the message through, and not really like what it looks like, you know. I know I haven't been showing my face on the camera really either. It's just because I'm able. I think I'm able to express what I want to say, like, more easier than when it's showing on my face, you know. Alright, that's it, you guys. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll speak to you in another one soon. Alright, hope you found this intriguing and interesting. Alright, talk to you later, you guys. Bye.